How to read
One book
quick.
One book
372 books.
If you are watching this video, chances are that you have been oscillating between satisfaction of your instinctive drives, exploding surges of dopamine, and inhospitable and dry stretches of pleasure deprivation. In the name of decorating your minds or in the pursuit of becoming
Absolutely deadly.
time and time again, you have heard them mention it.
One book a week.
22 books.
1,000 books a year.
Chances are that you were once lost, felt powerless. Your life was a mess, and in the middle of all this despair, you hit upon some of these ingenious guys who told you that you are an eternally cursed soul, and the only remedy, the only way to lift this curse is the blessing of reading a book a day. All of a sudden, everything started making sense. You came to realize that you have been saved. Chances are that you have been availing yourself of this remedy and have nearly become
Absolutely deadly.
and you have attained a unique, scintillating perspective on life. However, chances are that it didn't work out and you have not become
Absolutely deadly.
articulate, cogent, laconic person. If that's so, stay here. We have got things to discuss. And in the reading of many books is distraction. Since the dawn of intelligent mind, questions like these have been asked. Is it quantity or quality that is preferable? Whether description is enough or engaging in social transactions is equally important. How to acquire wisdom, or what is knowledge in the first place? Similarly, shall one speed read 100 books a year, or digesting a good dozen serious works would suffice? It is this question that concerns us, and we shall hereby anatomize the case. Firstly, it is highly important to ask, why do you want to read, or why do you want to read voraciously? Well, it will be productive of knowledge. Why do you wish more knowledge? So that you will have a unique perspective on life. And why do you want that? Because it will make you
Absolutely deadly.
This conception, my friends, of becoming absolutely deadly betrays overwhelming and oppressed will to power. It is power that you want to pursue and not the knowledge and not the books. And lust for power bewitches a man, and that very enchanted person, if he has a good internet connection, approaches YouTube with a view to knowing if it is possible to acquire all the knowledge that there is. Kant would tell you that taking reading as a mean to the end of power renders it an evil act. But we are not here to discuss morality. Granted power your only goal, this very pursuit you had embarked on had led you astray. It catapults you into thinking that more knowledge implies more power. And here lies the devil. It is here you have been deceived. To spend too much time in studies is sloth. To use them too much for ornament is affectation. To make judgment wholly by their rules is the humor of a scholar. Francis Bacon. More knowledge doesn't imply more power. Power lies in living the knowledge, digesting the little you read. It is not the dispersion of enormity where value lies, it is but the concentration of little that makes the difference. The power that a book confers lies in rereading that book. Bertrand Russell once said, "There are two motives for reading a book. One, that you enjoy it, the other, that you can boast about." How come you boast if you have speed read or skimmed the book? And how can you enjoy it if you are not reading it for the second time? There is an extremely popular statement made by Bruce Lee about the power of redoing something.
But it's unacting, acting, or acting, unacting. If
You get the idea.
Let's epitomize our discussion. There is only one motive for reading a book, that you can know it better every time you reread it. So, what is good reading then? Good reading is the reading that necessitates rereading. It surely sounds paradoxical. Nonetheless, if you could read a book, it sparks but doubts that can only be clarified after dry sessions of intense thinking. However, only good books can be good read, or only good books should be good read. Some books are to be tasted, others to be swallowed, and some few to be chewed and digested. Which begs the question, what are good books? Books that contain first-hand ideas and not the reiteration and rephrasing of original text. We all know that the edifice of modern self-help industry stands on the promulgation of great ideas of Stoicism and Buddhism. Modern text offers nicer and easier explanation of those rather difficult books. You could evade the actual process of thinking and consume that processed dose. No offense, but anyone who has read, on the one hand, Marcus Aurelius' Meditations or Seneca's works, and on the other hand, Ryan Holiday's Suite, knows very well the gulf of understanding that separates them. But what can be more miserable than the fate of reading public of this kind that feels always impelled to read the latest writings of extremely commonplace authors who write for money only and therefore exist in numbers? And for the sake of this, they merely know the name of works of the rare and superior writers of all ages and countries. But these innumerable doses of second-hand ideas never made you
Absolutely deadly.
since you never acquired insight through the actual exercise, thinking, and of course, thinking through writing.
You need to learn to think, because thinking makes you act effectively in the world.
Reading maketh a full man, conference a ready man, and writing an exact man. That said, what makes a book worth reading or rereading? Or to use Adler's term, what makes a book a great book? You are still watching this video. Believe me, if you are a book, you could have made it to a great book, because great books stick around. Great books are always contemporary. Whether it be Homer's Iliad, Aristotle's Poetics, or 1001 Nights, such works can never be touched by obsolescence. Great books do not present a set of rules to be followed. These are, however, practical but in a subtle and ingenious way. Great books deal with persistently unsolved problems of human life. What causes the discontent in civilization are the irremediable antagonism between the demands of an individual and the restrictions of the society. Why humans are so illogical and unreasonable, or is the reason any credible and reliable in the first place, or why one should read less and reflect more? These are eternally unsolved problems to which these books offer a better understanding. Great books teach, provide insight and depth of meaning. Great works do not contain trivial details and minutiae. I hope this little endeavor of mine has deeply impacted you and you have been moved to the core of your being, and that you will consider wrestling with some of these giants. And if, however, thou art not versed in the business of adventure, get thee aside and pray whilst I engage these giants in combat.